Hello and welcome to the third and long podcast on this Thursday night. The last Thursday night before we have games in the UK.
London, baby.
How are you, boys? I'll start with you, Mr. OBH.
London, baby. London, baby. Yeah. A little bit excited. Love it when it's October comes around because we actually get to see footballers in the flesh, hitting people in the flesh, and you get to hear the noises. I love it. Absolutely love it when the London games come around. It is highlight of the season for me.
Yeah, it's always great, but you need something good to focus on because your team aren't doing anything, are they?
Right, where's that remove button again?
On the bright side, the Celtics play tomorrow.
Yeah, and the Bruins play this week as well.
How are you, Phil?
I'm great. I'm talking to my mates. I'm also watching. We'll talk about why Shane isn't here at the moment, but if you turn over onto TNT Sports 4, you'll understand where Shane is tonight. I'm good. It's been a long ass week at school. I'm really tired. I'm really drained, and I'm devastated that I'm not going to be with you guys the weekend. But I can thank my family for that. I'm joking. I'm just a bit bitter. But yeah, I'm good. I'm just sitting here, just like getting ready.
I'll tell you what, Phil. Let's play a game of finish the sentence. Shane has said Mr. Harris is
in Fiorentina watching TNS play in the Europa Conference.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to Porto to watch the United play after the weekend. So he decided to go to Italy and watch his Welsh team play.
It's half hour. It's half hour gone, and they're holding their own. They're holding their own. TNS, the new Saints, are holding their own against Fiorentina.
Nice. We will get regular updates during the show from our in-game reporter.
And he's also just messaged saying you're a dick.
Standard.
Acceptable.
All you're doing is reporting the truth.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what it is, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean he's in Florence today. He'll be in London on Sunday. He is a roving reporter.
Well, Shane is literally becoming Mr. Worldwide.
He is Pitbull.
He's Pitbull. He's the Welsh Pitbull.
Oh man alive! Right, let's go and talk about some football, shall we, gentlemen?
Please.
How are you first before we roll on?
I'm good. Been a long week, but the fact that I'm going to watch some actual football on Sunday is getting me through it.
Oh mate, I generally cannot wait. I am excited. I get to see 3 weeks of football without traveling overseas to actually watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a downside that you have to watch Patriots lose, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you say that we're against the Jags.
Yeah, we all know it's going to be a very low quality football game.
I still think the Patriots come out win.
Yeah, but the thing is,
don't tell Bold do that tomorrow, but so do I.
the Jags have a couple of quality players.
They do, to be fair. I mean, but I don't think their head coach is much cop. But then again, I can't say anything about our bloody coaching team in a minute. Right, let's roll on to football. Let's start with Monday night results with the Tennessee Titans beating the Miami Dolphins 31-12, which actually made New England Patriots the highest scoring AFC East team this week, taking the win somewhere along that line. Okay. The Seahawks battled gallantly against the Detroit Lions to lose 42-29. Gentlemen, what do we make of it?
Well, I mean, I did call it. Oh, go on.
I was just saying, I enjoyed the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown threw a touchdown to Jared Goff. Always love when that happens.
Jared Goff has more receiving touchdowns than Mark Andrews, Brandon Ayuk, and God knows how many other players.
Combined.
Just putting it out there, and he's a quarterback.
I'm more receiving touchdowns than them. Or was it receiving touchdowns, you said?
It's mad. It's absolutely mad. I mean, there a silly little rumor, which we'll get back to when we get to the news in a bit, because it's involved with the line.
So, Lolly B has said, "Hello, lads."
Good afternoon.
Hi,
Well
Lolly.
done, Ollie.
Yeah, the Lions looked really good last night. Oh, not last night, Monday night.
Oh yeah, definitely. Has anyone seen David Montgomery literally run over a Seahawks player?
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
bang, the dude fell down, and I tagged Carl Brand. I tagged well, there's got to be an angry run somewhere along the line. It's got to be, because the guy just got flattened and then carried on going. I mean, it's taken Detroit probably 3 weeks to get going, but they've got going, and they look incredibly good against an undefeated Seahawks team. Let's put it that way. They were undefeated going into
It was one of those fake undefeated, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I did say the other night that their results have been inflated, shall we say?
It was like
Yeah.
you're 3-0, but you've not actually played anyone good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry,
Well,
Ollie, what was the score on Sunday night?
What happened Sunday? I can't remember Sunday. Sunday's a blur. It's
Oh,
gone.
it's that bad that you've already repressed the memory.
Yeah, I've forgotten about Sunday, mate. It didn't happen. Sunday completely didn't happen. Sunday afternoon and evening didn't happen. It's gone. It's vanished. I just remember going for a really nice Sunday roast and watching Red Zone. I don't think my team played, actually.
It's the first bye week.
Yeah. I mean, they were floating the idea of 2 bye weeks. Perhaps New England was on a bye week. I don't know.
No, I think New England might have been on a bye week every week so far this year, or at least in their minds.
Hey, we
It's not
beat
like they,
Cincinnati and we almost beat Seahawks.
it's not like they've turned up much, is it?
No. But we're not talking about us, and we're not talking about you. Seahawks. Is that true? Is their true ceiling there? They're not anywhere near the Detroit, are they?
Yeah,
No.
Literally, Mike McDonald isn't that good a coach. The Seahawks aren't that good a team, mainly because they have Geno Smith at quarterback, who is not that good.
No. That's not fair on Gino. I think Gino is a very serviceable mid-level player.
Yeah, but a lot of people have been saying like, oh, he's like a top 10 quarterback, which he's not. He is like,
Which he's not, but like to say he's not a good player is not a fair statement for him, though.
okay. Let me rephrase. He's a mid quarterback.
Yes, I would put him in the same category as like Derek Carr.
No, Derek Carr's better than Gino.
Derek Carr this season has played a lot better, has played well. I'd put him in the same level as maybe, let me think. He's better than Brissett.
But then
I mean, I'm better than Jacoby Brissett. I said that on Monday. I mean, we sat in the stadium at Tottenham, literally ripping Zach
he's
Wilson.
better than Huntley.
Oh my God! Shall we get on to that, because you shared something, Mr. Perrins? Please tell us what you shared.
To be fair, Will Levis is probably a good comp for Gino. Sorry, just before we go on.
So, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Can you hear loud and clear, my friend? Now we can't. Like I said, the 31-12 win that Titans put over the Dolphins, despite Will Levis's interception. Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Oh, Mr. Jones is back.
Yep.
So, can you not hear me when I freeze?
No.
Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't.
Oh, okay. I can't show you the picture then. But basically, it was like a post that I don't know whether or not it's true or not, but like somebody, like, it was from the Miami Dolphins point of view of, if you've ever thrown a pass that has had a spiral at least once in your lifetime and own a Miami Dolphins jersey, please come down to practice.
It's not true. I saw it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but I called it on Monday night show that I thought that they couldn't get the ball to Tyreek. That was my biggest claim on thing. Like, if you can't get the ball to Tyreek and Waddle, you're not going to win. And did you notice, baby, that the Oh God, what's his name?
McDaniels?
The McDaniels playbook seemed very much let's give the ball to our fast receiver and do a jet sweep play that we've been using for a while now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking,
Because the only way they managed to get the ball to Tyreek was through a jet sweep. Like that's literally all it was. Tyler Huntley was bad. Like he was bad. As bad as a quarterback I've seen all year. I mean, if you're going to go back and watch the highlights, gents, if you haven't already, don't watch the first half. It's a game of kicks. Okay, it only really kicked off in the second half where Tennessee started turning the screw. I will say this: I thought up until half time, both defenses looked absolutely solid. I was really impressed with the Dolphins' defense. But then in the second half, I mean, the adjustments were made by the Titans' offense, and they just blew them away. And yeah, when you've got like a bad offense, how negatively that can have an effect on your defense. And that's how I felt the Dolphins were. They are so lost without a quarterback. I mean, I know you're not his biggest fan, Hendo, but Tua is the engine of that offense. And they've still got the weapons, but they've got no engine. So it's the equivalent of having the best tires ever, but not having the engine to make it go forward.
Yeah. I mean, Mason Rudolph came in for Will Levis. Will Levis played, 6 snaps by the looks of it? Something like that?
Yeah, but then he got hit.
I was about to say, do you think this is the end of Will Levis?
No,
As a starting experiment?
the coach has said that Will Levis is their starter.
Yeah, I think he's got the season.
Do you reckon the season? Because Mason Rudolph is a serviceable quarterback. I mean, let's put it this way. The yardage in this total game was Titans' total yardage, 246. And Miami Dolphins' total yardage was 184.
Yeah, I've got it up as well.
Baby?
So I've got a few points. My first one is what a difference a year makes. So week 3 of the 2023 season, how many points did the Dolphins put on the Panthers?
Oh, God, yeah. 70-20, wasn't it?
It was like
Denver.
70 odd.
It was
And now
Denver.
and now they can't even score. Now they can barely score a touchdown.
They did score a touchdown. It was all kicks.
Yeah. Number 2.
Oh, no. Tyler Huntley ran on him.
Yeah. I do think Huntley's going to improve. He literally, he got acquired 5 days before the game?
Yeah. I got you on that one.
He barely knew the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
If he knew, they must have been running a really, really condensed version of the playbook. So I think he'll improve. And number 3, how sorry do you feel for Jalen Phillips? 2 years in a row now, he's had a season-ending knee injury.
Yeah.
It's both knees as well, isn't it? Now he's had it. So one was right now, this one's the left.
I mean, I'm not sure if you guys. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys watched in-season Hard Knocks last year, but watching him get that knee injury was heartbreaking.
I mean, seeing all the tweets last year and all the, well wishes from his teammates and fellow competitors, you see he's a liked guy around the league as well.
Yeah.
And that helps. Lovely Lolly has said.
Yeah. She said 4 become 3 tonight, lads. I've actually watched some NFL clips now. I'm learning. Well, I'm glad you got into the NFL, Lolly. And if you have any questions, feel free to follow them. And us 3 or us 4, when Shane is back, we'll do our best to answer them.
Hey, Lolly. How are you doing? Do we know Lolly, by the way?
No.
Oh, hey, Lolly. Tell us where you're from so we can kind of pick on you for the location that you live in.
That's Mr. Perrins. He's such a nice guy. Right. Let's roll on to plays of the week. As I press that button now.
Awesome. And this one is blocked. Returnable for 2 points if they scoop it up. Laterally. Oh, staying in bounds, and he's going to go all the way. Keely Ringo for 2. What a play. Pressure. 49ers back out of it. Brissett given time over the middle. He gets picked off by Warner. Fred Warner climbs the ladder to get it. And now he sprints down the sideline. Inside the 10. He won't be denied. Touchdown, San Francisco. Second down, a non-pump fake. It is deflected and picked off by Anderson. And he will take it all the way. Panthers rush 4. Burrow has lots of time, and there's Jamar Chase with the catch. Breaking tackles. Chase down the sidelines. Panthers chasing Chase. They won't catch him.
I love watching Jamar Chase. I love watching him. He is so good.
I mean, we could have gone for Jared Goff touchdown because that was a bit of trickery. You love a bit of trick play. So Baby Hope went with Jamar Chase.
I did.
Great insight there.
I mean, look at him. He breaks like 2 or 3 tackles. He's literally got like 5 defenders around him, and he somehow outruns them all for a touchdown. 65 yards, and that's what kick-started the Bengals' offense in that game.
If they needed something this season, their offense has been dire.
Appalling,
Mr. Perrins, you took Fred Warner.
All right, so I'm calling it now. Fred Warner will be defensive MVP of the season. He is electric. Now, taking away my 49er love for a second, I have said for a long time that Fred Warner is built like a tight end and he moves like a wide receiver. Like, he is insane. He is
good because he was above his head.
Well, I mean, either like he's got great hands anyway, but like he is such a he's what I would call like a zone hawk, where you don't ever really see him blitz, but anything in the middle, anything that's kind of like being passed, he'll get there, or he'll obstruct, or he's just such a great game watcher. I don't want to say he's better than Patrick Willis or Bowman, but he's in that category in terms of great 49er linebackers. And he's one of the few players on our defense that I think is a fear factor, that when you're playing against him, you're fearful of him. More so than Bosa in many respects. And just like the pick, the getting up, and then he ran with it as well, because we've seen before, like with sometimes linebackers or even like secondaries, like they'll catch it and they'll just take a knee or just they'll dive. He literally got up and then was like, oh, well, let's see how far I can go with it. And I'm not throwing shade at the Patriots whatsoever, because I feel really sorry for them this season, because they are in a rebuilding phase, but they weren't ever gonna stop him. Like, he was just straight down that sideline.
I mean, he didn't look like he ran out of steam in the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he did. I mean, don't get wrong, but he kind of earned it. Like,
I think Fred Warner is better than Bowman. However, he'll do very well to get something as iconic as the pick at the stick.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I've heard yourself say it. Baldy's also said it. I've heard a few other people around the Tinterweb say it as well, that he's Defensive Player of the Year and candidate.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. So,
I think it's between him and a certain Detroit Lions defensive end at the minute.
Yeah.
Lolly said, I'm a tech grandma and somehow wasn't watching live, so I'm going to have to watch back. You know me now. And then she said, I'm in Barry from Surrey, though. Posh bird.
Oh, Barry, like Barry Island. Perfect.
Yes,
You're a Welsh lass who's left the motherland to go to the barren land.
She lives in Gavin and Stacey. She lives in Gavin and Stacey County.
Yeah.
So Shane took the Falcons touchdown. Don't know why. He just said he took it. I took the Eagles special teams blocked field goal, running in for 2 points. It's something you very, very rarely see. I can't remember the last time I saw it.
It's been a few. I think it's been a few years.
It was a great play by the cornerback to get himself around there, to block the punt or block the kick originally. And then the guy managed to run himself 60 yards to get to the other end of the end zone. Fair play to him. That was a great, great play. And like I said, it's something we don't see very often. Right. Players of the week. Nico Collins was last. Boo. Derek Henry was second. I've done this completely backwards. Justin Fields was third, and Jalen Daniels again was a winner of the game. Right. I will have some. We've had complaints about this, haven't we, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A, because we didn't pick Baker Mayfield, and B, because we didn't take Jared Goff, who had the perfect game. What are our defenses, gentlemen?
Opinions are like noses. Everybody has one, and we can pick whatever one we want.
Exactly. Most people pick them more than others.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times do you your kids stop doing it in school, parents?
Well, I did look at both Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield, but the reason I picked Justin Fields is because he got traded for nothing. He wasn't expected to be starting this season, and he's gone and led the Steelers to 3-1. I think that's a better performance for him than Baker Mayfield did for the Bucks and Jared Goff did for the Lions this week.
Jared Goff for the first time ever, it's the first quarterback ever to throw a perfect game. Admittedly, it was only 18 passes, but still. Parents.
And just another one to like the criticism is, we don't want to make it very QB heavy. Like, you know, when we talk on the pod sometimes where we get very biased and we go into like long discussions about our favorite teams, whether it's 49ers, the Patriots, and the Ravens. I mean, I know I picked a Raven, but like we want to talk about players that aren't necessarily the quarterback position. And with me picking like Derrick Henry, I don't know, Shano's not here, so I don't mind saying it without him, you know, going all really fluffy-eyed. But like Derrick Henry proved that the Ravens don't just need to rely on Lamar to run the ball. And he had a great game. I think he's been phenomenal for that offense because it's helped take the load and expectations off Lamar. And I think he had a great game like the weekend. So that's why I picked him.
So I went with Jalen Daniels purely the fact of what this guy is doing. 4 games, and he has the highest completion ratage in the NFL this year, but highest completion ratio by any quarterback in the first 4 games of their career. And that includes the likes of Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning. It includes those kind of names. He's having a wonderful season. He is, I've just seen who's watching as well. He is what Lamar should be. He has that presence to sit in the pocket and throw the ball if needs be, but he can also scramble and run in touchdowns. He is going to be a better version of Lamar Jackson in like 3-4 years. Well, probably even 2 years' time.
I love this, Ollie. You see Shane's watching, and as soon as you see that, you criticize Lamar.
Very.
But we saw when we've all said that Jalen Daniels is Lamar Jackson. Same kind.
Yeah.
You know, we said that going to draft, he is Lamar 2.0.
He's
But
Lamar
what
Jackson with the better
Daniels
pocket presence.
in the first 4 weeks of this NFL season, but he is going to be better than Lamar.
Yeah, he
Because
already
he's
is.
in that pocket.
Yeah, he's Lamar Jackson with actual some pocket presence.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting to get some abuse from that one. Right. Let's roll on to this week's news. Going through.
This is the news in 60.
So as three of us are heading up to London this weekend for the NFL game, let's actually talk about some news first. Devontae Adams wants out of Vegas, and they're willing to listen to offers for this. We have a little bit of extra news on that one in a minute. Bills defensive end Von Miller has been suspended for 4 games for the NFL for violating NFL personal conduct policy. Great. Patriots week is getting worse with 10-year veteran starting center and captain Dave Andrews is out for the season with needing shoulder injury. Finally, we have some good news injury-wise. The Browns have activated Nick Chubb off IR, meaning he could be back within 3 weeks of playing. And it is quite a week in news this week, but that is the news in 60.
Okay, can we start with the Chubb news? Because I'd like
Yes.
to talk about this.
Yes,
I did not think Chubb was ever going to come back.
that was horrific, wasn't it?
At
One of
one
the worst
point,
injuries I've ever seen.
it was looking like he was going to have his leg get amputated.
Yeah.
This is like Alex Smith level.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
not sure
we've
if you guys
seen.
have watched. I'm not guys. If you guys, I'm not sure if you guys have seen.
Yeah,
that
I've
TED
watched
talk
11.
from
Project 11.
Alex. The TED talk from Alex Smith. I'm not sure of it.
Yeah, I've watched it. Actually, it popped up on my YouTube feed today while I was at school. So it just like it's funny that we should say it, but like, yeah, that's been in my head today.
Yeah, that was incredible.
I instantly think of Project 11.
I'm not sure what Project 11 is, but
It's basically on about Alex Smith's injury and his rehab and getting back playing. It's really, really interesting. It's on YouTube as well. It's about an hour and a half. It's really, really
I was
good.
gonna say, yeah, it's just a documentary about his rehab.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Incredibly
I've not seen that. I'll have to check that out. But I am so surprised Chubb has come back, and I think it's incredible that he has come back because that was an awful injury.
Mhm.
It's one of the worst injuries I've ever seen in the NFL. I mean, we've seen Alex Smith's injuries. We've seen some
Yeah.
like horrific hits. Like we saw the Broncos player down, literally walked to the side and
Oh,
collapsed on Sunday. That
mean,
was,
we
thankfully, that was a back. Probably he's had a back injury. Apparently, that's what it was. But yeah, incredibly scary.
I always remember that picture of Dak with his leg like this,
Mhm.
and his ankle pointing at literally a right angle to it.
Yeah.
Do you remember Dribble Cisse's one? The first
Oh
one.
my good God, yes.
Don't.
That was one of the
That's-
worst ones I've ever seen. It's literally you could see the bone coming through his sock.
Yeah.
That bad. I mean, if it wasn't for his sock, I think his leg would have actually fallen off. But yeah. Let's talk about Devontae Adams. He wants Jets. But Mr. Perrin, you or Baby Hope, you saw something a little bit earlier that
Yeah.
we're not sure on the source, but
Just before we talk about that, Devontae Adams lost me when he said on receiver words to the effect of, "I don't care whether we win or lose. I just want to make sure I'm great."
and what?
He basically said, "I don't care about the team. I just want to make sure I perform well."
Fair
Or at least
enough,
that's what I took it as. He lost me then.
Okay, yep, I get that one.
Do you think that
But-
might have been taken out of context though because of the pressure that he puts on himself?
It
There is
could
that
have
as
been.
well. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Because
But
like I mean, not remotely the same thing, but because I remember watching as well, and we've had this conversation before. But like, I used to play as a goalkeeper, and I played a pretty not as like high as like Hendo, but like I played at academy level, and there would be games where the team that I played for, we would win quite comfortably, but I would have nothing to do in the game, so I would be angry at the end of it that I felt like I never got my chance to show off me. Whilst there would be games where we lost, but then I would have a great game because, you know, I'm making saves, I'm making plays, on my distribution. But even though we lost, I felt good at the end of it because I felt like I played my part or I did my role as a goalkeeper. It sounds really weird, but like I don't know if you ever felt the same way, Hendo, but like I can kind of see that mindset of, you know, I want to be a part of the team regardless of if we win or not. I want to be the focal, and he was brought into Vegas, let's keep in mind, guys, to be that focal point. Like, we forget that, you know, the whole aftermath that has happened in Las Vegas, but they headhunted him to be that guy for Derek Carr to throw to. And it lasted a season. And he's, you know, I can see why he's completely disillusioned because, you know, his mate Derek Carr's been canned into New York. He then had Josh McDaniels. He then had Jimmy Garoppolo, and then Aiden O'Connell, and now Minshew. And like, it's just not what he thought this part of his career would be, going from Aaron Rodgers playing in NFC Championship games to being bottom of your conference.
Yeah, it's shocking. It really is. I mean, did you hear? I mean, I shared the clip onto Google. Did you watch what he talked about on the Kay Adams show? Get it with Kay Adams, whatever she calls it nowadays.
Remind us.
Up and Adams, isn't it?
Up and Adams, something like that. Where Antonio Pierce liked the trade rumor on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Kay's gone to him. Has Coach spoken to you? And he goes, no, I've not spoken to Coach about it at all. She was generally shocked, going, he's not come and spoke to you? because he comes across as I am a man manager. I try and get the best out of people. Like, like he doesn't seem one of these people who goes, oh, yeah, I didn't mean to like that post. I'm really, really sorry.
I was thinking maybe it was a John Lynch situation.
Yeah.
When John Lynch liked a post saying like Jimmy Garoppolo should leave San Francisco or something, he came out, he was like, I was a mess with my family, and apparently I inadvertently liked a post on Twitter or something.
Because that's what people at Mass do, get their phones out.
Yeah.
But I just think, we've looked at the trade rumors, and I know when it came up, I jokingly said 49ers should just straight swap Brandon Ayuk for Devontae Adams, to which you just put in all capitals like, no. But looking on the NFL Network today, apparently San Francisco were one of the teams that had inquired about Devontae Adams.
They can have Vonnie Bell. I'll trade Vonnie Bell for him.
The Raiders have historically made bad decisions on the football field as well as off the football field, so that would not surprise me. But realistically, I can see him going to an NFC team that will be contending. I mean, as much as I love the Raiders on the show, the Raiders are nowhere near competing in an AFC division, which is already stacked and tight anyway. So I could see Devontae coming over. We'll talk about potentially going to the Jets to reunite with Aaron Rodgers, because the Jets have started well. I'm still not convinced by them. I think Detroit would be a really, really good idea. Yep. I think with the way that they're playing, it'd be very difficult. But Minnesota, if Minnesota want to try and go all in while the vibes are still high, JJ one side, Devontae the other. I mean, that could be something that Minnesota could go into. We've talked before. I think it was last episode where I said, that typical Minnesota play has been through the air, not on the ground. They've always had great wide receivers. Yeah. But then the one that we talked about before we came on air, potentially Detroit, but then maybe going all in on Max Crosby as well to
I've got the tweet here.
Yeah, do you want to read it out?
So the tweet said, breaking, the Lions are in the final stage of landing both Devontae Adams and Max Crosby. With Adams requesting a trade, Las Vegas is considering killing two birds with the one stone by trading Crosby with Adams to get the maximum compensation. Detroit is expected to give up multiple picks alongside with shining quarterback Hendon Hooker.
Now, when we're thinking of picks, we're thinking at least a round one, multiple round ones, and a round two. I cannot stress how much Max Crosby is worth to any team. He is literally the guy. I mean, he's not just his ability on the edge, but the aura that he brings. And I would be shocked if the Raiders gave him up for in general, but if they gave him up for nothing, essentially. I can see them trying to get Devontae off their wage bill. If they could get a couple of second, third rounders, if that, but Devontae's on a lot of money. But Max Crosby,
Devontae's a second rounder. I can't remember who it was, but it took a fourth. Who was it?
Just quickly, lovely Lolly Beer said only 3 going to London. Yes,
I know, lol. I know.
Not going.
It's all right. My sister decided to have my niece's christening this Sunday, and she told me the week after I purchased the tickets. So, I'm going to be sitting in church on Sunday, miserable, like most people that go to church, I guess.
And nerdy football lads have said, "What's up, lads?"
Hello, nerdy lads.
Yeah. Hey, nerdy lads. So NFL.
So I follow those guys on TikTok. They're good. Go and give them a follow. They're actually really good lads to watch, actually. Devontae Adams, he's going to be at least a second, maybe a third, because he's a consistent double-figure touchdown guy a season. Even last season, he was still double touchdowns, over 1,000 yards persistently. New York makes sense, but there's another New York team, not in blue. Well, actually also plays in blue, but not in New York. They're in New York State.
I've seen that Devontae, that they want a second plus more picks for Devontae.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a wide receiving core at the moment in the AFC East, and don't you dare say New England?
Miami.
Miami have got probably the best 2 wide receivers in the league.
No, but like, what? I mean, just imagine literally we'll just send wave after wave after wave of Hall of Fame wide receivers, but we'll put out a quarterback that can't get the ball to them. Oh, the irony!
Buffalo.
I mean, the Jets have like Garrett Wilson and nothing else. The Patriots basically don't have wide receivers, but they don't have a quarterback either. So I guess it's the Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo. They need, and that is what he's better than Stephon Diggs is. He's bigger than Stephon Diggs is. He can go up against the big one. He wins a lot of 50-50 balls because of his size.
Yep.
He is, I'd probably say, a slightly quicker version of Mike Evans. I can't remember what their forces were off the top of it, but I think it would make sense to go to Buffalo. I really like possibly the idea of Cowboys, but they really saw their run game. They're 32nd in the run game in the league at the moment, so they wouldn't make sense. It's going to be either an NFC East team. I think he's going to end up.
Yeah, but which teams have the cap space? Because I think he's on a lot, isn't he?
He's a 13 million a year guy.
13 or 30?
1-3.
Oh, that's fine then. Everyone have it. Loads of people have
I was going to say
30.
that's actually quite low for what I think Devontae would be worth.
Yeah, he's one of the lower paid star wide receivers in the league, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, let's roll on to this week's prediction games. Mr. Harris isn't here. I have them already. I'm not going to give them out because they are on a voice note, and Mr. Harris doesn't say things without dropping occasional F-bomb, and we're not allowed to do that anymore.
Nope.
So, I've chosen this week's games. They are, of course, the UK game because we always do the prediction of the UK games, and it gives us an excuse to talk about the UK games. Bills, Texans, Raiders, Broncos, Panthers, Bears. Let's start with this UK game. How good is this game going to be for starters?
I think it's the best
top
of
notch.
the three.
Yeah,
I think
top
it's
notch.
easily the best of the three.
I 100% agree. So we've always complained here in the UK that we don't get the good games. We get a really, really good team and a jack team, which normally happens.
Just quickly, Ollie, I'm being told to put some respect on Bob Douglas and Jalen Polk.
Problem is, yeah, like Baby Hope said, Nerdy. Yeah, I don't trust our quarterback. And where's Perrin gone? But
Anyway, we were talking about the London games.
For once, we do have 2 very good, very competitive games here. What's going to be interesting is how Aaron Rodgers deals with that AstroTurf because it's meant to be a little bit harder than it is in MetLife. And he is already struggling with Achilles soreness already.
Mm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But
Who's the backup?
Not Mike White anymore, is it? I can't remember.
No.
I remember him Hard Knocks, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But, I mean, what are we excited to see about this game? Justin Jefferson, obvious, against Source
I was
Gardner.
about to say, just Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold making plays like he's the B-Tech Brock Purdy. Source Gardner making plays. And I'm actually quite excited to see Jordan Addison. I think he's a really underrated WR2.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing this Vikings defense under Flores. I think it's a very underrated defense as well. They're going about it very well and they're sneakily good.
The thing is, though,
Good.
Flores has been confusing quarterbacks. That's what he's been doing this season.
That's what he did. That's how he runs his defense. He's done it ever since.
Yeah, but you're not going to confuse Aaron Rodgers. He's seen everything.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I think the defense might not perform as well as it has been, and I think it could be a very close game.
It could end up being a shootout.
Remember, last time the Vikings played in the UK,
Doink.
double doink.
And last time Jets played here, they were under. Zach Wilson was under center.
Yeah.
I mean, you sat there picking him apart the whole game.
Mhm.
Yeah, me and you did. You know, he's open. Oh, he's throwing in triple coverage.
Yeah, I mean, going to be interesting sitting next to Shane this week, picking things up while he's picking up his inches because they don't sell Strombo in there.
So Nerdy Football has said Tyrod Taylor, I think, is their
I
backup.
thought he retired.
I thought he was the Giants' backup.
I thought he retired as well.
And lovely Lolly Beer said, "I'll go in your place, Mr. P."
You certainly can. Well, I don't know. Someone's selling my ticket for me, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Discuss off air, Mr. Parent.
Okay.
Right. Who would like? Oh, Baby Hope, you're leading the way. So on 13 points this week. Parent is on 9. I'm on 8. Shano's back there in 7. Somehow, 4 weeks in the NFL, and Baby Hope's already 4 weeks in the lead. So
yeah, well, I'm already a week ahead. 4 weeks in.
So what we do, as you can see, we choose 4 games every week. We choose one of us chooses a set of games every week, and then we predict them. So Baby Hope, who is going to win in London?
I'm taking the Vikings to go 4-0.
Parents?
Skull Nation. I'm going Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all with that on the well. I'm going to be boring and go Vikings as well. But as you said, Rodgers has seen everything. He's been there, done that. Admittedly, last time he was in England, he lost to New York Giants when Saquon Barkley went off.
That was a great game.
That was a great game. He is dealing with soreness at the moment. He's not as mobile as I thought he was going to. Well, as he was. He hasn't got Garrett Wilson going, but he's got Alan Lazard going. Yeah, I'm going to go with Vikings as well on that one. I think it's a Vikings win. Right, let's roll on to our next game, which is Bills versus Texans. Who would like to go first on this one? Mr.
I will.
Yeah, actually, you are first. You should be going away.
Yeah. So, this is 2 3-1 teams.
Yeah.
However, the Bills have been a very impressive 3-1. The Texans have been a very unimpressive 3-1. CJ Stroud isn't playing as well as last year. Joe Mixon, I think he's back this week, but might not be 100%. Stephon Diggs has been good. Nico Collins has been good, but I just haven't been that impressed by the Texans. And I think their defense is shaky, whereas I think the Bills, apart from last week, have been pretty damn good. So I'm taking the Bills.
Mr. P.
I was going to go with the Bills. I do think with Von Miller, I thought Von Miller played really well the weekend, and he feels like he's evergreen. But with him being out for a couple of weeks because of his behavior, I think that might hinder some of the defense a little bit. But I still think the way that Josh Allen started the season, he's playing with a vengeance. He's playing with a point to prove. And I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Nice. Okay. I hear you, and I do see where you're both coming from. My worry is how much the Ravens ran through them last week. Literally ran through them, and this is a fairly good Buffalo defense, and I hate saying that. But I do think Texans are starting to turn things on. They looked a lot better in stages against Jacksonville. They are 3-1. They have got a very good team there. They are building a good team. They've got a good head coach. They've got good coaching. I just think it's Texans to win. And it is in Houston as well, I remember, if I'm thinking off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Let's go to Denver against Las Vegas. Baby Hope.
This is a hard one to call. It's a really, really hard one to call. It's 2 teams with kind of unknown quantities quarterback because we've only seen Bo Nix 4 times. And Gardner Minshew sometimes can play well and sometimes can play. Let's just say poorly. Both of the offenses aren't great.
Yeah.
There's a disgruntled wide receiver in
Las Vegas.
And I mean, is Cortland Sutton WR1 in Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, but I think the way I'll go on this is just take the home team, and it's at Mile High, so I think I'll take the Broncos.
Nice. I don't really need to ask parents because I know where he's going on this straight away.
Raiders.
Any stanchion behind that claim?
Yeah, I don't think the Broncos have been good this year. Have you not watched the Broncos this year? Every game that they play, they seem to be worse than the previous game that they play. Like Bo Nix is not him, and if he will ever become him, it won't be in this decade. So I just don't think the Broncos are very good. I just think, yes, you make some valid points there, baby. Both offenses aren't firing on all cylinders. So then I look across the other side of the ball, and I still think the defense for the Raiders is still much better than the defense than the Broncos. And I just think, in general, the Raiders do have more quality than what Denver are currently churning out. And yeah, home field advantage, Mile High Stadium, but the Broncos are not good. I beg you to go and watch their 4 games this season. They have not been good at all.
So they beat New York in a very wet MetLife. Who did they win? They won quite convincing.
They played the Giants, man.
They beat the Buccaneers.
They beat Tampa Bay. That was it, 26-7, and they outplayed Tampa Bay. And Bo Nix looked like the quarterback who should have been drafted at number 10. He looked good, and if you're going to get that Bo Nix back, it is in Las Vegas.
Is it? I thought it was a
No,
Denver. Okay, if it's in Las Vegas, I want to change my answer.
You can't.
No, I said I want to take the home team. So I want to take Vegas. I want to take the Raiders.
Because I was going to go Denver anyway.
Okay,
I generally think that how fit Max Crosby going to be? Is Devontae Adams going to play? Probably not. Is that pass rush the same without Max Crosby? Probably not. Max Crosby is the heartbeat of that team, and if he's not firing, he's not going to be happy. Our players now going to get a bit disgruntled with Antonio Pierce because of how he's treating Devontae Adams. We don't know.
This is his first big test, really.
I'm not convinced on Gardner Minshew. I like him. I like his personality and the way he is and all that. I just don't rate him high enough in there. I mean, if they do Brent Hendon hook it in, it won't be long until he did start as under center. I think he's a bloody good quarterback ender hooker. So I'm going to go for Denver win in Las Vegas.
Just wait there for a second.
No, you're not clipping that.
No, I'm not trying to clip that. I'm pretty sure it's Raiders or Broncos.
It says verse on the Broncos one, so that normally means...
I'm literally on NFL UK. It's Raiders or Broncos. I want the Broncos. I want whoever's playing at home.
Okay, you want Denver. Okay, you're going for a Denver win. So you've heard my answer and you're going to change it.
I've been saying I want the home team. I don't care who. I want the home team.
I've got a point there, gentlemen. Okay. I'm looking completely the wrong way around this website. I'm looking on this phone. Right, last game. Panthers versus Chicago.
Oh, sugar. Oh.
So, this is literally experience versus rookie, isn't it? You've got however many year veteran Andy Dalton
14
under center for the Panthers, and you've got rookie sensation. I use that word loosely. Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I'm going to bet on defense and say the Bears because I think they have a very, very good defense.
Mr. P.
I'm going to go with the red rifle. Andy Dalton's claiming skulls for his former teams. I mean,
he's got enough of them.
Like I mean, just think about it. Like, he beat the Bengals,
No,
and then his next game.
he beat the Raiders, lost to the Bengals.
But they beat. Okay. Well, okay.
24, but he looked
All right.
good.
Well, I got that wrong. I'm still going to go then with. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Red Rifle. I'm gonna go with Carolina.
Nice. So I am going to double down with Mr. Perrins. Let's put it this way: Bryce Young is still under center. I would be going for Buffalo. No,
Yes.
Buffalo. Sorry, for Carolina. No, I'll get it
Chicago.
right in a minute. Chicago. But Andy Dalton comes in and gives Carolina that stability. And they looked so much better. They wouldn't have scored 24 points against Cincinnati if Bryce Young was under center. They do look a lot better under Andy. He's more accurate. He's got more zip. He's more calm in that pocket. Chicago don't really have a full-out pass rush, but they have no line to protect Caleb Williams. And I just think that they can get to Caleb Williams. He'll run around like a scared cat at the moment. This is why you start these veteran quarterbacks and let the rookie quarterbacks sit for a year and learn, because then you get your O-line better. But Chicago have a good O-line, and they had not got it right at all. So I'm going to go for Carolina to win. Mr. Perrins.
By that metric, then, what is your future quarterback learning from Jacoby Brissett?
How to throw to people who's in coverage instead of throwing the open receiver.
Okay.
Oh, go for my reads. Oh, I'm going to go that's number one. He's in coverage and I'll throw it. Yeah. We'll cross that bridge another time.
Yeah. You talked enough about how you're just staying for Jacoby Brissett on Monday. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Not happy at all. We will put the predictions out as always. They'll go out probably Saturday to go from there. Let's talk about the other games. Let's start with tonight's game. We'll go through the other game. We'll choose our games tonight, but tonight's game is Buccaneers at Falcons. This could be quite a tasty game because Buccaneers are playing incredibly well at the moment.
it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is.
It's one that I think is really hard to call because the Falcons are very up and down.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Cousins is better quarterback than they've had since Matt Ryan. Since he's left, so he's the best quarterback that he's had since because they've not really had that quarterback there. But I still think Matt Ryan in his last year is better than Kirk Cousins at the moment.
Yeah, he was the Falcons quarterback last season. I can't remember for the life of me.
Desmond Ridder.
Okay.
Heineke as well, wasn't it?
So they're not getting their money's worth for what they thought. Kirk Cousins. I mean, they're also playing in primetime today, which also makes you think that Kirk Cousins is not going to win this.
Yeah, that's
I saw a great video the other day when they're going, yeah, Kirk Cousins is brilliant in games before 7 on Sundays. He doesn't play well after 7 on Sundays, and he can't do prime time. So why are they paying him 180 million to only really play well in a third of his games? He's not been what I thought the Falcons were going to be. I was quite optimistic with the Falcons. They invested not just heavily in him, but also with weapons around him, and it's just not clicking. Whilst a lot of people, me included, wasn't really high on the Bucs going into the season, whilst they've been playing exceptionally well, and Baker's playing really, really good football. So I think I'm going to pick the Bucs.
Makes sense. It makes sense. I would go Bucs personally.
I'll make it unanimous.
Yeah, I just think your game, gentlemen. How are you feeling about your game against Cardinals?
Can I answer that when I know Fred Warner's status?
Go on then.
Well, at the moment, Fred Warner's questionable, so.
Fair enough.
Do you know what? I still think we'll win. I'll never say against the 49ers. Kyler Murray is that amazing quarterback where I put him in the same category as like a Justin Fields, where he will do something that make you go, oh my God, he's actually really good. And then he'll do 3, 4, 5 things where you just go, oh, I can see why people get frustrated with him. And when I saw the highlights for the Cards the weekend, he did exactly what I've come to expect from Kyler now, where he'll do a couple of really good plays and then he'll hold onto the ball too long, he'll hold in the backfield and he'll get hit, he'll get sacked. And it just kind of summed up how the Cards are under him. And I think that even if we don't have Fred Warner, a fit Fred Warner, because I think he'll make himself play as opposed to have that call made for him. I still think we've got enough pressure on that defensive line to get on to Kyler anyway. So that's where I think.
Definitely. So we are hosting Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots are. Whoever wins this game will not finish bottom of the division. It is that status at the moment. I even joked with Andy, who's the Across the Pod host, about it because he's a Dolphins fan, and I said jokingly, "Bash at the bottom of the division."
I don't think there's much joke about that.
No, I mean it's whoever loses against us or loses this game will finish bottom. I mean, fundamentally, if they have a quarterback who could actually throw the ball to their wide receivers, they would win, hands down. But I don't trust any of those 3 quarterbacks who aren't Tua. But then again,
Stu Huntley's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Oh my God, he is, isn't he? When Lamar went down that one, I was completely. Wasn't he like 4th? That was the same year that Mac was bloody Pro Bowl quarterback as well. That's when I mean, the only saving grace is I'm driving home from London, so I won't be able to watch it. That's the only saving grace of this weekend.
Talk sport, mate.
Yeah, I'll have it on TalkSport. More than likely. I'd love to say, yeah, we're going to wipe the floor with them. I mean, we've got no O-line left, so their pass rush is buggered because Jaden Phillips is out. All they've got is Bradley Chubb. It's basically the Walking Dead at Foxborough on Sunday, and I feel sorry for the parents who've got to pay for it at the moment to get out there. Tickets as low as $60.
I think the Finns will win.
Any other games that take your mind? Obviously, we've got the AFC matchup of the Ravens and the Bengals. I think that's going to be a Cincinnati win. Sorry, Shane, but I generally do. I think that it's because it is in Cincy. It's a Cincinnati win. Mr. P, any games?
I don't actually have the games list in front of me without going off my phone, and I don't want to be kicked out of the stream again like I had earlier when I disappeared. I have one to
talk about it. I don't know why, but I'm interested in the Packers Rams. I feel like that could be a really, really tasty matchup.
Yeah,
Jordan Love versus injured-ish Rams team. Interested to see whether Jordan Love's actually got 2 legs this week, because he was pretty much playing on 1 last week.
He's got 1 1/4.
Yeah.
I mean, so your 4 teams on bye this week are Detroit, Tennessee, Philadelphia, and Chargers. Your primetime games are Saints, Chiefs, Cowboys, Steelers. Thankfully, there's only one Monday Night Football game this week.
Good.
I mean, there's a lot of divisional matchups this
the
week.
The Monday Night Football game is Saints versus the referees.
No, God.
Yes. Right. Okay. Mr. Harris isn't here, but I've taken over the mantle of Shano Specials. So I'm going to try and talk in my best Welsh accent. Just hope my heart isn't near this, because she'll kill me. So let's roll on. I've got a couple of bets that I quite like the fancy of for the London game, which is Justin Jefferson and Garrett Wilson both have over 100 receiving yards at 12-1. Quite like that one. Aaron Jones have 80 plus rushing yards and score a touchdown, which is at 5-2, which seems short, but he is on superb form at the minute. He is playing really, really well in that Minnesota offense. What do you think of those two, gentlemen?
Yeah, I like them both. I actually want to talk about one for tonight's game.
Go on then. I do have one here, which is Mike Evans score over 100 yards and score a touchdown, 11-2. Let's not forget that this guy has had double-figure touchdowns every year, and that includes Jameis Winston throwing the ball to him, and he's always had 1,000 yards.
Yeah. So my one is both teams score 1+ passing TD and 1+ rushing TD. That's
You
4
got it
to
on Paddy Power. So what's your odds on Paddy?
4-1.
So I've got it 11-4. So almost as well, it's 3-1-ish, isn't it?
Yeah. So the reason I like that is because Baker's been rushing quite a lot, and Bucky Irvine's looked like an absolute find, and obviously he's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, K. Dotson to throw to. On the other side, Algier had a great game last week, and Bijan Robinson is a beast, and Kirk's got Drake London. Who knows? He might actually throw to Kyle Pitts this week. And he's got lots of other big players, such as Ray McLeod, people like that. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I quite like that 4-1. I've actually stuck a 5 on it myself.
Fair enough. Cool. Right. As always, you'll be able to download this podcast tomorrow morning at about 8:30 off your listening devices, wherever you get it from, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, wherever you get your Amazon, your podcasts from. You will see myself, Baby Hope, and Mr. Harris around Tottenham on Saturday. We are going to have microphones. Come and say hello to us. Come and have a chat to us. You might even get onto one of our YouTube videos if you're very nice and you're not hanging out your asshole and don't say nasty things about us. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back on your screens on Monday. Till then, have a wonderful night and stay safe.